What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with RK Outpost, and we know what Disney has done to Star Wars itself. It has effectively destroyed the brand. We know what they've done to the fans. They have completely splintered the fan base, with so many people disinterested in anything with the Star Wars name on it. But now we find out they may be destroying their actors and actresses as well. Daisy Ridley, Rey, one of the most unlikable characters we have had in cinema over the past several years, evidently can't get any work after the Rise of Skywalker. Let's take a look at this. Now, this is entertainment, EW.com. Daisy Ridley says she wasn't getting much work right after finishing Star Wars. Nothing was coming through, the actress recalls of those first couple months after Rise of Skywalker hit theaters. Now, Rise of Skywalker, I think we all can look back at that now, even the people that were criticizing the whole time, like this channel, but even people who were trying to hold it up can look back and see what a absolute complete mess that movie was. They tried to fit so many things into that movie. They tried to please people that hated The Last Jedi, while at the same time trying to pay off fans that did like it. It was just a mess. They couldn't decide what they wanted to do with it after The Last Jedi came in and just absolutely wrecked everything. Now, if you're like me, you hated The Force Awakens as well, but that's another story. But Daisy Ridley, who plays Rey, has evidently got the really short end of the stick. You would think that someone who signed up, almost an unknown, signed up to be the lead role in the Star Wars sequel trilogy, was probably riding this high, thought this was going to launch her career to unimagined heights. But then after The Force Awakens makes $2 billion, falls all the way to Rise of Skywalker with $1 billion, Daisy Ridley cannot even find work because of the damage that Disney Star Wars has done to her career. Let's read, shall we? One would presume that Daisy Ridley, the face of a multi-billion-dollar global blockbuster franchise, would be swimming in job offers following the culmination of the latest Star Wars trilogy with The Rise of Skywalker. That, the actress says, was not the case. In a recent interview with Entertainment Weekly about her voice role in the time loop video game 12 Minutes, Ridley looks back on her mindset after wrapping the cinematic saga of Rey and how there was a slight panic mode when nothing was coming through job-wise those first couple months after Rise of Skywalker hit theaters in December. Now, these are her own words. This is not something that we're putting in her mouth. This is what Daisy Ridley is saying. It was so sad to finish Star Wars, she said over Zoom from London. When the film was released, I was like, oh my god. It was such a huge chapter, and weirdly, the past few months of not having much, obviously now it's really nice to be working, but not having much at the time, I feel like I processed the last 5 years. To be forced to slow down, it was good mentally for me, because Star Wars was a big thing in my life. Weirdly, at the beginning of the year, nothing was coming through. I was like, no one wants to employ me. That's what happens when you get cast in the role of someone that was almost universally criticized, almost universally hated by so many people. And not all of it's Daisy Ridley's fault. Let's keep that in mind. I think that Daisy Ridley is a pretty nice person. She might come off a little cringe in things like, Jimmy Fallon.
You can't stop me, I'm a Jedi from Jakku.
But overall, her portrayal of Rey was not good. It was not good acting. I don't think a lot of people felt like she showed a whole lot of range in these movies in any way, shape, or form. So that didn't help. But also the fact that her role, that so many people just hated the character herself, felt that everything she got was unearned the entire way through. That didn't help the public perception of her. So I do feel a little bad for her because it's not all her fault, to be sure. Ridley later remarks at how there were actually loads of things that I auditioned for at the beginning of the year and didn't get any of them. I had that moment of, oh my god. And then I just thought, everything in its right time. Then she says things started picking up. However, her definition of picking up, I'm not sure that's the same as everyone else's. She's talking about these little voice acting roles in a video game or a show. It is not by anyone's standards some kind of major role. It's a very small role, a couple voice acting gigs. That's not what you would expect, right? That's not necessarily what you would expect from someone who was the face of one of the biggest movies of all time, The Force Awakens. but it's also one of the biggest disappointments in all time, which is the Star Wars sequel trilogy as a whole. It's incredible the amount of damage that Disney has done to her career. And you have people like John Boyega who have completely distanced themselves, who I think everyone can look at Finn and realize, like, you know, John Boyega did kind of what he could, but at the same time, he's shown that he can do other things as well. Oscar Isaac is someone who has done things before Star Wars that showed how valuable they are, what a good actor he is. And he's going to go on and continue to do great things. He's in Dune. That I'm really excited for the potential of what Dune could be. Looking forward to seeing more of it. But Daisy Ridley is someone who didn't have all those things beforehand. This should have been the thing that catapulted her to an A-list celebrity star. And it just didn't. It did the opposite. It made people want to forget about her. It made people not want to bring her on because of that association with the character of Rey, which is so despised. And if you remember, when Rise of Skywalker was coming out, it even seemed like Daisy Ridley and Oscar Isaac and John Boyega said, yeah, we're really tired of this. I think it's time for Star Wars to maybe step back a little bit, maybe us to not get involved in it anymore. Even they knew what this was. You remember, Daisy Ridley asked what they want for Star Wars. What I want is a break, Daisy Ridley said, and everyone's discussed it. But I think we just need to let Rise of Skywalker have its moment and then take a breath. Figure out where next. And that's kind of what they're doing, because they had really no plan. All the plans they had to stop because of what a disaster it was. Continuing forward basically just with The Mandalorian. We keep hearing, oh, Obi-Wan's going to start filming. Cassian Andor, that's going to start soon. But I'll believe it when I see it. You have Oscar Isaac talking here. He says, I would like to see it slow down a little bit. I think make it special until the next one comes out. And it doesn't really feel like it's part of an assembly line. There it is. Like, that is how they feel about these movies, that they were just absolutely shoveled out. This is not art. This is not anything anyone cares about. Just shovel it out to make money. And of course, we know John Boyega's thoughts. He's said them several times. John Boyega, I've moved on from my Star Wars character. He's said it over and over again on Twitter all the time, on Instagram all the time. He makes no bones about it, and evidently was not a good thing for the career of Daisy Ridley. I'm interested to hear your thoughts about this. Again, I feel a little bad for Daisy Ridley that her character was just written as one of the absolute worst characters, most bland characters that we've seen in cinema. And I think that she could do better with better direction. That being said, I don't think she did the best job of showing her range and what she could do in these movies. Do you think that she's going to get back on top, that people will eventually forget and people will start getting her for big time gigs again? Let me know in the comments below. Or do you think Kathleen Kennedy has ruined Daisy Ridley forever? Make sure you smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.